Welcome to the City Movement Podcast. Each episode, we'll dive deeply into the Christian mission of the YMCA, provide practical tips for planting churches in Ys, and discuss the benefits of planting churches in the YMCA. We're your hosts, Jeff Snyder and Mike Newman. Thanks for spending some time with us today. Let's jump into today's episode. Well, hey, welcome into episode 12 of the City Movement Podcast. This is Jeff Snyder. I'm here with my co-host, Mike Newman.
Greetings.
And third-time guest, Jensen Harper. Jensen, you've been on 25% of the episodes in season 1. How does that make you feel?
Well, I didn't know that number, that percentage point, but I'm really thrilled to be here. I can't wait to dive in with you guys. Thanks for having me today.
You look excited.
Yeah.
An overwhelming sense of excitement coming from the east side of the table over
I'm
here.
slain in the spirit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm pretty stoked about it. Whenever I heard that sports was on the docket, I said I have to drop everything and join.
Nice.
Yeah. I told my mom that. I'm stoked.
That's good.
Thanks for having me.
That's good.
Well, we're here. This is going to be we're going to do seasons of this podcast, and this is our last episode of season 1. We're going to take like a 1 or a 2 month break over the rest of the summer and then come back better than ever in the fall. And we figured a fun way to end season 1. We are YMCA churches after all. Would be talking a little bit about our sports careers. Kind of like
sports. Yes.
Get to know the guys behind the podcast.
That's right.
Their highs and their lows. I know Jensen doesn't have many lows. It's really all up here in terms of Jensen and sports.
Well, right. Yeah. I mean, do you think it would be helpful to start with our, like, physical what is it? Like height, weight.
Oh, like kind of like our combine weigh-in.
Yeah.
Wow. That's.
Do you think it would be
So just for listeners,
I'm not sure I'm ready to share
before
with
we
everyone my body mass
really
index.
start body mass index, just so that listener tunes in, they know this is not going to be an overly deep theological podcast. Wouldn't that be fair to
Theology
set those?
Of sports. Yes.
It's not even going to be theology of sports.
Yes.
We will not be talking about really anything important. This is pure fun, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, there might be some YMCA tie-ins, right? We're talking about sports.
And that'll be up to you.
For the most part, it's not going to be church planting or anything like that. It's all going to be fun.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
But I did want to say, I think it's been a successful season 1.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
We were talking about this before we came on the podcast. We've been so encouraged by some of the feedback we've gotten, the way we've been able... Feedback? I did say feedback. It's like when what they're telling you isn't good. And
feedback. Yeah. I've enjoyed being able to use these conversations and sending them to different pastors around the country.
Yeah. Different
CEOs from Ys that have called us and said, hey, what's going on? Hey, we'd like a church to be planted here. Or, hey, we're thinking about planting a church. Da-da-da-da. You have any resources? And it's been nice to say, hey, listen to this conversation.
Yeah.
That's been really fruitful for me.
It almost expedites the conversation where rather than you having to be like, man, how do I explain this well? Oh, I actually remember a time where I've explained this well or decently with other people too. Because sometimes it's hard to remember all of the ins and outs of church planting in the Y, and whenever you're able to provide feedback and then you're able to give your input.
I would like to see him provide more feedback.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about the highs and lows of our sports careers, not our podcasting.
Yeah, I like how we're not going to go in this direction, but we're going in this direction.
So the one thing I wanted to say about season 1 was we would love it if all of our listeners and viewers would subscribe on YouTube or subscribe on the podcast app or Google Podcast. So that way, when we come back with season 2, you're just going to know that we're recording new episodes because it'll pop up on your phone or on YouTube. So we have over 700 views on YouTube, which I'm very encouraged by. We've got 400 downloads of our podcast. So we'd love to keep growing. So share it with friends. Share it with people you think might be interested as we continue to grow this thing in season 2. All right?
We believe in this thing, dang it.
We do.
That's why
we
want this thing sent out.
Yeah.
And
we
send it to your friends.
We believe in our sports careers.
That might be different.
There's a reason we're all pastors.
So if you're listening to this, send all 11 episodes before this one to friends and family. Don't send this one to friends and family.
Speaking of which,
especially my friends and family.
We seem to have had a little logistical glitch with episode 11 with Graham Jones.
Okay.
It didn't get uploaded right on our kind of like our podcast platform. Oh. So we're currently trying to fix that, and hopefully episode 11 will be up before episode 12. But for anyone listening, if you haven't listened to that yet, go back when we upload it and listen to our interview with Graham Jones. He's a pastor and musician from Texas that we had on the podcast at the very beginning of June. It's a worthwhile listen. I thought that was a really good episode. Yeah. So we'll have that up. Make sure you go back and listen to it.
It's good.
All right. Without any further ado, let's jump in. We are going to share our height, weight, social security number, and BMI. Jensen, go ahead.
BMI. What is that? Barometric?
Yeah.
We're going to share the highs and lows of our sporting careers.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Okay. All right, let's hear it, Jeff.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
I'm coaching my first T-ball team at the YMCA.
I bet you're $1.60.
We won our first game on Saturday.
They don't keep track of score.
I was keeping track of score, and we definitely
we won.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. In the YMCA league for 4 and 5 year olds, no one gets out.
This is a coaching highlight.
You advance one base on every hit, and everyone bats every inning, and we had more people than them. Oh. So everyone scores.
Jeff, why did you do that? The other team's probably listening to this podcast right now.
I told you I was going to tie in the YMCA.
Okay.
So we won only because we had more players?
Yep. We had a pretty big team, so we might win every game.
Yeah.
Undefeated. We're getting trophies.
That's the goal. We're the Blue Knights. If you want to come to our games,
yeah,
just join us for the
every
ride.
Saturday at 9:30 or 9. Every Saturday at 9. Every Tuesday at 5:30. Jensen and I are co-coaching.
I misinterpreted that text you sent me, Mike, the other day. We had T-ball and it was a swim meet. Because we passed Mike. I was driving into T-ball, and he texts me, and he goes, "What is happening at the Y?" And there's literally not a single parking space available at the Y. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm going to T-ball. I thought he was just asking what's happening. Like, why am I there?
Big T-ball.
Right.
Big T-ball day.
Man, it's a big game. Over 700 people.
They heard we were coaching, you know. So we had like coaching scouts out watching Jensen and I.
We sold out.
Yeah,
so how much do you weigh, Jeff?
Big deal. We're actually not sharing that.
Why not?
But I will say,
I'll share. Yeah. I'll lead. Oh, okay. Fine. I'll lead because I know that I'm the heaviest. Actually, the other day. There's this guy I've been wanting to hang with, and I went to. It's a local CrossFit place, and they give you one complimentary like BMI, study or evaluation. And I did it, and I found out that I'm 1 pound overweight.
Oh. That's why you didn't eat those buns at my house last night.
Correct. 2 patties. I got roasted last night because I didn't put any.
He's over here taking hamburger patties and tomatoes with no buns. Okay.
Once I found that out, I decided. Plus, if I'm going to be coaching, I have to make sure that these 6-year-olds know that their coach is in tip-top shape, so that they imitate me as I imitate Christ. That sort of thing.
That's good.
So, my name is Jensen Chandler Harper. I am 26 years old. I am 1 pound overweight, riding at about 220 pounds right now. 6'4". I measured myself on your little the kitchen ruler. I'm 6'4", and I wear a size 14 shoe.
Oh my gosh,
that's good.
So I just led. Jeff, imitate me.
40 though. I mean, you got
40?
You got a 40 time? Your most recent 40 time?
You know, I was thinking about this the other day, is I felt
your fastest 40 time.
I don't think I've ever done it.
Really?
Because I played club sports.
You've run a 40 time at some point? What do you got, like a 7.5?
No, I was 4.8 in high school, which isn't that fast.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's like a 300-pound lineman running.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's true. Greg Robinson,
I know.
the left tackle for Auburn, that year, he ran a faster 40 than A.J. McCarron, the Alabama quarterback.
Wow.
I find it fascinating that those big chunguses can run that fast.
We had 2 receivers in high school run 4.3s, and I was the other receiver at a 4.8. And so they were like on the ends, lightning fast, and so I would just run the little slot passes, things like that.
So yeah, what was your niche? Were you like, how do people view you?
No,
Were you
Jeff's
like the
next.
Wes Welker?
Jeff next.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We'll get there.
But Wes Welker, sure.
Wes
Welker. I'm next with my stats.
Yeah.
Michael Beasley.
I am 6 foot and 3/4 of an inch. Rounds up to 6'1".
That's like when the little kid says, "How old are you? Are you 6? No, 6.5."
Give me that 3/4 of an inch. Man.
Yeah.
I don't weigh myself very often. We don't have a scale in our house. Mm-hmm. So I weighed myself for the first time in probably 3 years at my mother-in-law's house, and I had lost weight unintentionally because that's what happens in my life right now if I just lose weight on accident. So I'm riding right around 160.
160, that was right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And little known fact, Jeff has a bowl of ice cream every night.
That's actually so true.
Mm-hmm.
If there's one thing you need to know about Jeff Snyder, it is his deep love for ice cream.
I do have a deep love for ice cream. We're making homemade ice cream this weekend at the Snyder house.
See,
so. That's good.
When was the last time you made homemade ice cream at home, Jeff? Or Michael? Probably ever?
I don't know if I have a great answer for that. I can't remember.
Let me clarify. I do not have a bowl of ice cream every night.
Really?
We either pop popcorn with lots of butter and salt.
Jeff, this is the City
or
Movement
have
podcast.
ice cream every night.
You
It's
can
one
be
of the
honest
two.
with this.
No, okay. Right. Sorry.
All right. So I am 189. Okay. I also don't have a scale at my house, but this lady came over to weigh me. Just I know, full disclosure, because I just renewed my life insurance policy.
Oh, you got a little life insurance check in there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wait, she came to your house?
Yeah.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, I've had those happen before.
Yeah.
She literally
took my
drove to your
blood
house.
pressure.
Yeah, that's what they do when you have life insurance.
You guys didn't include that one. I'm 120 over 80 for blood pressure.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you.
And my goal when I had my firstborn, which is 14 years ago, was to weigh 185 so that I wouldn't have to carry a gun. I could just flex my pecs at the boyfriend by the time he was 16. And I'm above that goal.
Great job,
making it. Yeah, thanks.
Gosh.
Catherine,
so
can you
intimidating
add,
factor.
an applause track? This is in fact filmed in front of a live studio audience.
I love it.
All right, I'm gonna give my low of my sports
give
career. Okay, the sports I was best at growing up were baseball, basketball, and soccer.
Okay.
But I lived on the west side of town.
Can you share the sports that you were bad at, or the other sports that you played?
You know,
because I didn't know you were good at soccer.
Yeah, I would say that in a I'm good at most sports that I try and play. I wouldn't say like I am excellent at excellent at any sports, but I'm not bad at any. Maybe pool.
Have you
like,
written
I'm not
any
great
books?
At pool. Bowling.
Have you written any books on humility?
I know, right? Not any sports books on humility.
Okay.
Podcast, right?
Segmented that from spiritual life over here, sports life over here.
But so on the west side of town, it was not cool to play soccer.
Oh.
That was not the cool sport. So I stopped playing soccer. West side of Gahanna.
Oh.
I stopped playing soccer and instead opted for the manly sport of football in 8th grade.
Okay.
And on the 8th grade team, I was the starting quarterback. And this is my sports low. I on the third game of the year, for some reason on this one play, I don't know why, I walked up, got in my stance to take the snap.
You're under center.
Under center. Started giving out my cadence, and I noticed the linebackers are pointing and laughing. I was like, what is going on? Why are they pointing and laughing?
Yeah.
And then my center turns his head around and looks at me, and I'm not behind him.
Oh, no.
I'm behind the right guard.
Oh, no.
So here he is with the ball. Like, why is my quarterback not lined up behind me? And I'm lined up behind the guard trying to take the snap.
It was a trick play.
Yes, trick play.
Yeah,
Statue
except
of
for it
Liberty.
wasn't.
It was
and
on
so
you.
I just kind of stood up and shifted to the left a couple of feet and crouched back down.
Yeah, at least it wasn't the tackle.
And believe it or not, that was the last game I started at quarterback.
Oh.
That year, I moved to wide receiver.
Yeah.
My favorite part about that story is that the center was the one that noticed something was wrong.
Yeah.
The guard was totally cool with you just probing him.
Maybe the guard gave him a little elbow or something like that, so he would know something was up. But That was,
hey, in terms of lows, that is bad.
Yeah,
that is
really,
bad.
You just put the floor down.
Wow.
For how bad.
I don't think we should go low anymore.
Bar.
Just highs from here.
Okay. That's me.
Just you.
That was my only year playing football.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. Decided it wasn't the sport for me.
Okay.
Did you come from a sporty family?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say.
Oh yeah, your mom was a college.
My
athlete.
mom was a state champion track runner.
Okay.
And she played volleyball in college.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about track. Okay. Where'd she play volleyball at?
Rio Grande University, which is like a...
Shout out Warriors.
I was like, that's impressive.
I couldn't even begin to tell you what
Go Bulldogs.
the mascot is or what division it is, but it's down along the Ohio River in southeast Ohio.
So it's not the Rio Grande.
I think it's Rio Grande because it's not in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Texas.
Yeah.
Right. Rio Grande is the river in Texas, and then Rio Grande, Brazil?
Yeah, I think it's a city in Brazil.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that Disney or Pixar deal?
No,
That's
I
Rio
still
de
need to...
Janeiro.
Oh, man. That's our next podcast, a geography podcast.
Maybe it's not Brazil. Maybe it's just Texas. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
That's me. That's my low.
Okay.
How do you feel after sharing? You feel okay?
I feel like I just got something off my chest.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now everyone knows something.
Delivered.
About me.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Come on, gents.
We have 10 minutes to
Yeah.
share our highs and lows, so we need to do this.
Okay. Well, I'll share this. Wait, did you share a high? What was your high?
You want me to do a high? I just feel like I've been talking for a while.
Okay,
I
come
don't
on,
want this
gents.
to be about
Give
me.
us the low.
My low was I usually didn't play a sport that I was bad at. There were sports I was bad at, but I definitely I capitalized on my giftings. So I only played sports that I knew that I was good at.
Okay, that's deep, but like, what was your low?
Hold on a second. I need to compose myself.
Giving him
My
some,
low-
some
You're
feedback
prefacing.
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I'm playing baseball.
Okay.
Love baseball. I actually quit baseball because I hated getting hit by the pitch. I was terrified of batting.
Yeah.
But yet I chose to play lacrosse, where like the ball is heavier, it moves faster, but you do have padding. I think it was more of a face thing.
Maybe you were standing too close to home plate.
This preface is too long, I'm sorry. But I was playing baseball when I was in 6th grade, and my dad was notorious for like coaching me, critiquing me while I was playing. He was a great encourager, but this particular game, I was out in the outfield playing, and my dad was laying along the foul pole line. So he was like out in the outfield with me.
Right.
And I was out in the outfield.
Well, he was laying down?
Yeah, he was kind of like beach,
yeah.
like on the
No,
beach
yeah,
style.
I can picture that.
Like Jeff
Parallel
Harper.
to the foul line, probably.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he was out there coaching me, and I remember I got a ball hit to me, and he was like coaching me while I was playing, even though he was not a coach. And the ball got hit. He was coming right to me, and my dad's yelling at me. The ball's coming to me. I think it was like a high pressure point in the game, and I totally whiffed it, missed it. My dad's like, I turned, and as I'm turning to look at the ball that I just missed, I see my dad with his like head in his hand, and I'm running back, and I was like crying as I was grabbing the ball, and I threw it back in. I totally.
So it's an athletic and emotional and familial low.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, like the trifecta.
It got me.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
My younger brother, who is 9 years younger than me, played baseball
Yeah.
at one point in his life, and I was trying to be like a good brother, show up and encourage. And at one point in the game, he was playing right field, probably similar to what you were, and I was kind of out close to him. I thought it would be funny to tell a joke or have him look at me or something.
Sure.
And of course, the one time I do that,
He gets drilled.
the ball is hit to right field, and he has no idea where it is. Like, everyone starts yelling, and he's just looking around, and I'm like, Jonah, the ball's coming.
Oh no.
And terrible brother.
Sorry.
I think the only other low that I can think of is also baseball related. It's probably why I quit and played lacrosse instead. But I remember when we lived in Missouri, my sister is like an incredible athlete, and she played softball. I played baseball.
Right.
And I was trying to get better at pitching, and we were in this little alleyway alongside the house, just like long enough so that I could practice pitching. And my dad was catching, And I was having a hard time like knowing how to pitch whenever there wasn't a batter there. And so he got my sister to like stand in, and I had just learned how to pitch recently. Mackenzie, I'm throwing it. It's a little wild of pitches, and Mackenzie keeps jumping out of the batter's box. And my dad, man, I didn't realize. I'm sorry, Jeff Harper, if I am disgracing your name at all, but Mackenzie kept jumping out of the batter's box, and my dad goes, "Kenz, stay in the box. He's not gonna hit you."
Oh, no.
Isn't that like?
Oh, you didn't hit her. I thought you were gonna hit her eventually.
Isn't that always like the famous last words? He's not gonna insert blank.
Yeah.
Next pitch, I heave the ball and I hit Mackenzie on the inside of the foot. To this day, she still has stitches like this, not like actual metal, but like the stitches of the baseball on her foot.
No way.
Man,
she's taking off her shoes next time.
You heaved that ball.
Let me see those feet.
That's impressive and also sad.
Yeah, that is.
Well, yeah, I don't think it was more of like a speed thing. I think it was just more of a soft tissue sort of thing.
Yeah, she's just soft, man.
Yeah,
sure.
Let's be honest.
Also, Division I athlete.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Harper.
You guys come from good stock.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Okay, low.
Why don't you share your low and your high, and then we'll work back around.
We'll round the horn here. Low. Varsity season basketball. I literally
at Shawanassawusa High School.
Close, Ashwaubenon High School. Go Jaguars.
Go Jaguars. Go Jigs.
Yeah, that was that is the first time when I went to college.
Yeah.
I think I shared Jeff this story with Jeff, but that was the first time I realized I had an accent. I took a bunch of my buddies back up to Green Bay. We went to a homecoming game, and the cheerleaders were saying, "Let's go Jags." And I remember my friend Matt goes, "What's a Jag?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? It's a Jaguar."
Isn't Jeg or Jags like an automotive parts store or something like that? Jegs.
Oh yeah, it has the little crown.
Jags. Yeah, I think so. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Matt,
that's what a Jag.
I was like, a Jag. That's short for Jaguars, and he's like, "Are you saying Jaguar?" And really, it was like the first time I was like, "Oh man, everyone else in the country doesn't say it like that." So my dad, he's like big rig tig, bagel, Jaguars, everything. But anyways, other team scored. We took the ball out of bounds, and I did one of those like start walking before I catch it.
Oh yeah.
And it was like hit my hand, and it literally hit my foot, and I dribbled off my foot. Varsity game where everyone's on the other side of the court. Yeah. It's just me. We're in this like great stadium where like everyone's on top of you, kind of like a Duke Stadium or whatever.
Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Kinda?
And so it's like it was just like everyone there, and it just this moment where just me at the half and dribbled off my foot.
How old were you?
It's probably 17, 18.
Okay. You're like a junior or senior.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but highlight.
He had a pretty good sports career. If the low is, I dribbled a basketball off my foot one time.
Oh, but it was varsity, man. You're supposed to like have it all together.
Dribbled a basketball. I mean, come on.
No.
I dribble basketballs off my foot every time I play basketball.
And I'm a big
I take back everything I said about not being bad at sports.
Highlight. It's an earlier one, but in 6th grade, I pitched a perfect game.
Let's go.
That's
6th grade.
That is big.
On the Jaguars
against
De Pere Redbirds, which we call them the Deadbirds. About like 9, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was. I remember that was like the first game that my curve really came together.
In 6th grade, you're throwing curveballs?
Yeah.
Weren't you? Maybe that's why I quit.
I was always told it was bad for your elbow to throw the junk
you just give
before
it.
you were in like high school.
No. Up in Green Bay, you just eat a little more cheese. It kind of coats all the tendons in there. It's fine.
Okay.
So rather than like Tiger Balm or whatever on your elbow, you do Cheese Whiz.
Yeah. But the umpire...
They don't use ice. They just wrap it in like a string cheese.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the umpire gave me the ball after the game, and everyone signed it, and I still have it.
Nice.
Yeah. Actually, it's suspended above my bed. I'm just kidding. I don't know where it is, but yeah. So there's my high.
My high is also a baseball moment. baseball was the sport I played the most all throughout my life. And as you can probably tell right now, I was not a power hitter. I was like the leadoff fast guy who would, get singles and doubles and steal bases. In 8th grade, the only time in my career I hit a home run to dead center field. Wasn't just a home run, though.
Yeah.
Grand slam.
Wow.
Only home run I ever
grade.
hit. Grand slam in 8th grade.
Congratulations,
bro. Thank you. Yeah.
How'd it feel? Was it a rip shot? Did you pop it over? Or?
I mean, it was easily the best I ever hit a baseball.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I just nailed it.
What were you batting with?
A baseball bat.
Really?
Can you?
Was it the Mark McGuire? Do you guys remember those? The Mark McGuire?
Yeah. It was probably an Easton.
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was probably an Easton.
Mm-hmm. This is a nice little ting.
Yep.
Man, doesn't get better than that.
All
Are you wearing a baseball batting gloves?
Yeah, I was a batting gloves kind of guy.
Two hands or just one hand?
Two hands, yeah.
That's good.
Didn't they call you that in high school?
Yeah,
tender hands.
No, they did it. All right, let's hear yours, gents.
Well, I feel like I got to talk about college at some point because I really wasn't fully grown until I remember I stopped growing probably my sophomore year of college.
It's interesting. I was fully grown in 6th grade.
That's why you were throwing perfect games, man.
That's right.
Golly, man. I stopped growing when I was in sophomore year at Samford University, go Bulldogs. And I think most of my cool athletic performances or plays probably happen on the intramural field, which sounds really lame. I do have one that I can think of in high school. I played lacrosse. That was my only sport. I locked into that. And there's a thing that you can do in lacrosse. It's called an Indian pickup. Are you familiar with this term? No? Okay. So, you traditionally scoop the ball, right? Just straight on, scoop it. Well, if you want to I actually don't know the practical purpose behind an Indian pickup, but you do.
Can you say that?
I just thought of that. A indigenous people pickup. What you do is you slap the ball so it kind of chops it, and in a way it kicks it up, and in the same quick motion you flip the head so you catch it. It's a very fast motion, so you go whatcha, and you. It only. Yeah. This only.
I'll be honest. I am watching it, and I really don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure it's cool.
So anyway, I have a long pole. It's really hard to do with a long pole, and so I'm running down the field. The ball's to my side. The second half is coming to a close. And times of the essence, we're down.
This is intramural lacrosse.
No, this is lacrosse club.
Okay. At
travel
Samford.
team.
Okay.
No, in high school.
So. Okay.
This is my only one outside of college I can think of.
Got it.
I'm running at full speed. Game's tight. I need to get the ball quick to the attackmen, so the people playing offense down the field. I'm running, ball's to my side, and I slap the ball like this. So it's a slap like this and then catch. So rather than a scoop, I slap it next to me, catch it in my stick, and keep running. And I did it right in front of our sideline, and everyone freaked out. It was awesome because it's like spinning the ball on your finger or something like that in basketball. It really has no practical purpose, but I did it, I think, just to hype everyone up. And it's like I feel like
it sounds really great. It really does. I'm a day that will live in infamy in Lebanon Club Lacrosse.
It actually happened in Traverse City, Michigan, so it's whatever. But Indy picked it up, threw it down. I think we scored off that play.
That reminds me of this is maybe not a sports high of my life, but what's the soccer move where you put it behind you and kick it up over your head and it lands rainbow? Okay, so I used to be in student ministry in our church, and I used to spend time with a soccer player, and he was trying to teach me how to do some moves. And so I was working on that, and so that day I went home, and we had our neighbors over, and our neighbors, there's these two boys who were, 5th grade or something like that, and they were just messing around with a soccer ball, so I went over and was playing with them, and literally just I was like, I'll just try it, and the only time in my life I've ever been able to do it, I've probably tried 100 times since then, I do a perfect rainbow over my head, and it lands right in front of me, and they were like,
Yeah.
And they were like, "Do you play soccer?" And I was like, "Yeah, I play for the crew." I walked away, and they believed me.
Yeah.
And then I clarified that like 2 minutes later.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm not actually like come to think of it, I really thought you were gonna share for your athletic low. You know what I'm about to say?
My injury?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tore my ACL 3 years ago, right about now probably. And that was definitely a low, but it was just intramural basketball at the Y, so it didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
That was the lowest I've ever felt from a sports moment, though, because it's like, oh my gosh, my entire next year of life has changed in terms of my athletic involvement.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
That was bad.
Yep.
I almost shared... in high school, we were really good at baseball, and in the state tournament, we were the 3 seed. And in the first round, we got upset by the 14 seed. That was the lowest I remember feeling on the field of competition, if you will.
I gave up the winning goal for the other team. We were up, I think, by 6 points during the state semifinals my senior year, and I gave up the winning goal.
You weren't a goalie.
I wasn't a goalie. I was a defender. The guy I was defending, he got past me.
But bro, your highs far outweigh your lows.
That Indian pick.
Yeah, think about
that was incredible.
In college, me and my buddies, affectionately known as the Sandlot Boys at Sanford, we three-peated for intramural A-League softball.
Go.
Yeah.
Sandlot Boys.
Our team name was Peppercorn after
Gundy.
Yeah. We three-peated. We went every single year. Our freshman year, we lost to Signet Chi in the finals. I say we. Yeah. They knew me as a lacrosse player, and I was still a lacrosse player my freshman year. Wasn't good at slow pitch, but I made it my goal to be a integral part of Peppercorn for the rest of my time at Sanford.
Well done, Jensen.
That's really good.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm going to cut off our sports conversation unless there's any last really important things to add about sports.
What would you say would be the fruit or the benefit of 3 guys talking about sports for the listener?
It's good, Jeff.
What do you think?
Oh, you want me to answer this question?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If I would actually try and analyze that and give a good answer, I think that there is something to knowing the people who are behind an organization.
Yeah.
I think you get to know a little bit, like when you get to know them behind the scenes a little bit, maybe it builds some rapport with some of the things they talk about. And even though my sports career and neither of yours are important to what we do, I think there's a little bit something to getting to know the actual person.
Yep.
That would be my answer.
Yeah. And us 3, we actually spend a lot of time doing sports.
T-ball.
Yeah.
Soccer. Lucy's soccer season extended.
Kids
I spend
volleyball.
a lot of time in youth ministry.
Yeah.
Playing.
It is such a platform for relationships.
100%.
Yeah. So sports are a big part of our life.
Yeah, we had a cookout at our house last night, and frisbee and spike ball were played many a time.
Yep.
So
I just
speaking of which, did you want to share about your blossoming spike ball career?
Yes. Did you know about this, Mike?
No.
You've got 45 seconds.
I'll just keep it brief. But maybe I should add this to my new list of ties. I am now a professional spike ball player.
Really?
Kind of. Not really. No.
So
did you sign on with
you
like
getting
an
paid?
agency yet?
No, dang it. I haven't signed a contract.
Okay. I'll pay you.
This is all a joke. Hopefully everyone listening knows it's a joke. But I did play in my first official spike ball tournament.
Okay.
In Goshen, Indiana, in Amish country.
No wonder you did so well.
No. Actually, we only won 2 games. But we got better and better as time went on. And to add, this was a guy, I actually took a group of guys that I discipled whenever they were in the student ministry. Now friends, more like. But we went up to Goshen, Indiana, played a spike ball tournament. We lost most of our games, 1-2. But we got better and better as the day went on. And we only lost to the number 1 seed by 3 points.
Wow.
Great job.
So
That's it. That's great.
When we do this podcast a year from now to finish season 2, your high is going to be I won the some sort of tournament.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should be good.
I as well.
All right. Okay. Well, I guess what I wanted to say to wrap up, if anyone made it this long and listening to this episode of the podcast, would be we're gonna come back in August or September as we begin season 2. We have some interviews and things we're talking about doing with people on the podcast, but we would also love to hear from you, whether you are a church planter that is listening to this as a resource, whether you're someone from one of our churches or our community or the YMCA community, if there are things you think that would be good for us to talk about, we would like to know. Like, I think some of our best episodes would come from feedback from our listeners.
Yeah, help us help you.
Well said. Yeah. So I just wanted to say,
you over there.
we've got a Gmail account that we'd love for you to be in contact with us. It's uscitymovement@gmail.com. We also have a Facebook page, The City Movement, and on Twitter we are _City Movement. So you can get in contact with us in any of those ways, and we would love to hear feedback on how it's going, what you think we could talk about, any questions you guys have. That'd be great.
And if you want to see any huddle highlights from any of us, we can send you the link too if you reach out to us on these platforms.
Maybe. Or we can recreate some of those scenes and send them to you. That would be it. I really want to see the Indian pickup.
Okay.
Is that what it's called?
I will demonstrate it
Okay.
live. Hey, that is one thing. You can look forward in season 2. I will do a live Indian pickup.
I'm really looking forward to that. Mike, any last words?
No, sir.
All right.
Good to be with you guys.
Hey, we'll see you guys in season 2 in this fall. And for Jensen Harper and Mike Newman, this is Jeff Snyder. That is the City Movement Podcast.
Yes.